Is my hair kidding? Okay. Happy Saturday. How is everyone? How are everyone? That's wrong. I hope you're all having a great weekend. Hopefully a long weekend. Hopefully you all have off Monday as well for Memorial Day. If you're in the States, if you're not in the States, I hope you took off Monday anyway because you deserve it. Probably everyone is out like doing fun things, and I am such a broken record. I'm gonna say it again. I never schedule my lives because I never ever know what I'm gonna be doing, if I will have time, if I won't have time, if the baby will be asleep or not. So I kind of just jump on whenever I can. I know that's like literally like #1 rule against YouTube. Like, don't do it. Like, you need to have a schedule. But I'm hoping that you guys love me anyway, and we'll watch later. I'm painting my nails, and I'm going to a birthday party, like an adult birthday party. Hey, J-Rod. Hi, Humble. Hi, Maricile. Marisol? Butchered that. I like that name. Going to a birthday party for my friend in a little bit, and I didn't want to pay to get my nails done. Hi, Positive Vibes, Boston. Boston's pretty. Hi, Latin Music. Hi, Gustavo. So I'm painting. Anyway, I posted on my community page yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it. Can you guys hear me okay? The air just came on. And I don't know if you guys saw it. I was gonna do a live yesterday. Kind of wanted to like plan it out, but I've just been so sad this week, guys. Like, seriously heartbroken. Not to make it about me at all, but the tragedy in Texas, it just really, like, watch me cry right now. It just really affected me. It made me super sad. So I kept being like, I'm not in the mood to like chat. Hi, JPM. I'm Indian. I don't know. I just didn't want to like, I just felt like it was like more important conversations were happening. So I didn't want to like add to that with my conversation. But it really got me thinking again, and I've done videos like this in the past, I'm pretty sure, about like, where do I feel safer, DR or US? And like, yes, Nina, we are, God. It's like not even, obviously it's not funny at all, but it's like, wow. I think it does hit different when you're a parent, like, because you can really, really picture it. Not to say that like you have more empathy or anything like that. It's just like, I don't know, it feels even more real when it's kids in a school. But it made me start thinking about like, I don't know, Chris and I were talking and we were like, wow, like, why are we even here? Like, why are we even in the States? I feel safer in DR low-key. Same, J-Rod. I'm gonna talk about that. And I feel like that's saying something, not saying that like DR is not safe, but we can chat about it. It's just like, wow, we did this whole visa process. We came here so Chris could make more money in his engineering career, and so I could be closer to my parents, which thank goodness we did it like that, because my parents are both going through some health issues and stuff, and like it's been really good to be here for them and to like spend time with them and stuff. I'm glad we have the baby here. I'm gonna have the next baby here. If you guys don't know, I'm 25 weeks pregnant as of yesterday. It's crazy. But we were talking and we were like, this just doesn't happen in DR. So I wanted to kind of, we don't just have to talk about like guns and stuff, but I want to talk in several ways about the differences, because there are ways that I feel safer here than in DR. So we can, chat about that. But I would love to hear your thoughts too, because that's why I'm live. I love to kind of go back and forth. Oh no. I was born in DR and would never live there because it's not safe in those areas. See, that's interesting that you say that, because like I haven't really felt that way. I would love to hear your thoughts though. It totally does depend where you are and what area. I will say, since we're on the topic, I'll start there with, this probably is not going to get monetized, this video, because I'm going to be saying words that are probably banned. I still don't even know how that works, but it's okay. When it comes to shootings, I feel way, way safer in DR. And I feel like everyone would say that. Like, I really do feel like it goes without saying. I don't think that's me being like a minority in saying that at all. If you guys disagree, please start commenting. The one thing I will say, when I first started taking trips to DR, I was 14, and we land, we're in Santiago, we drive to Barbacoa, and it was so crazy to me to see like security guards at banks and grocery stores and schools with shotguns. And I would always be like, what? Like, it was just weird to see, because in the States, like, I had never seen armed guards like that outside of banks or schools or malls. Not in that way. Like, they have a big shotgun around their shoulder, across their lap, and it's so like casual. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but I did a story part of when I was talking about this. And I remember the security guard at the school that I taught at just went to the bathroom and like gave me a shotgun and all the bullets and stuff and told me to watch it. And I was like, okay, sir, first of all, I have no idea how to like work this. Second of all, I feel like that would be against protocol, if there were any. So it was like a mixture of like this casual attitude towards these huge guns, but they were also all over the place and you saw them on these guards. Now, I never saw anyone use it. I've never seen, and obviously that's not to say it doesn't happen, but I've never seen a guard use their gun. I actually don't think they're all even loaded. It's more of like a deterrent. I mean, obviously, probably, most of them are, but you know what I mean. So that, it's kind of really interesting, because it's like, wow, you go and you see in your face, right, all of these shotguns, which again, I know a shotgun is different than a rifle, and it's a little bit jarring. And a lot of my friends, when we would first go on like mission trips and stuff, they would all say the same thing, like, oh my god, like, we're at the grocery store and this guy has his shotgun across his back. But I never, being there, have felt like I would ever be like in a shooting. Not a drive-by, not a targeted one, literally nothing. I have not seen people with guns there. I remember Chris and I went camping once, and it was so, first of all, the whole situation was weird. We went to San Jose de las Matas, and we were gonna camp at the river, but then the guys like got nervous, so we camped in one of their relatives' yards. It was so weird. Anyway, the kid we were with, he pulled out a gun, like a handgun, and we were like shocked, because we had, even Chris was like, what the heck? I've never seen people with guns. That's kind of just like an aside. So people have them, they exist. It's just different. So in that regard, I feel safer in DR. I have not been to the movie theater here since January 2020. So it's been 3 years since I've been in a movie theater, which blows my mind because I love going to movies. And every single time I go, I always think that that could happen, and that's a possibility. I remember one time in the city when I lived in Manhattan, my friend and I were watching a movie, and these really sketchy people came in like over halfway through, and we left. Like, it was so weird, such a weird feeling that we left. So anytime I go to movies in DR, which is something we would do a lot in Santiago, movie theater is really nice there. I never felt like that. I never felt like, oh, someone's coming in late. Oh, like, someone, like, that could happen. And it's so much nicer to be at a movie theater, or be at a big restaurant, or be at, like, a big, not like festival, I don't really go to those, I don't know, like a food truck neighborhood, right? So it's like a ton of people outside, or at the monument, and you just don't have that fear that, like, okay, someone crazy could, like, just come and pop off. Like, I don't know how you guys feel. Let me read some comments. Where's the best place to search for an apartment? Great. Corotos.com or Facebook Marketplace. As a black guy, I feel way safer in the DR, especially with all the racism and police brutality in America. I've never experienced those things in DR. And that's a great point too. Like, this is also coming from me talking in a place of like extreme privilege because I don't like, and I'm still afraid of like certain things that can happen with cops in the United States. So I imagine like with you, J-Rod, that fear or possibility is so much greater. And people always say like, oh, well, police in DR are corrupt. Newsflash. Police everywhere are probably corrupt. And that's not me saying like I'm against all police officers. No, I'm just saying like anything where a group of people is in a position of great power, I guess, especially in like, I don't know, here there's not as much training as other countries. Anyway, yes, DR, some of them abuse their power for sure. Most of the time, I feel like that's in the form of bribery and money. And I've never been pulled over in the DR. I've never had like an encounter with a police officer, which I know is rare. Most of my expat friends have. Most of my friends who've traveled to DR have. But if they have, they're never like fearing for their life. They're like, you're not spelling what I think you are. Okay, literally blocked. How do I block you? Why would you say that? See, like, okay, let me guess, you're American. Hi Kayla, how are you? Gosh, people are so dumb. I can't. Sorry if anyone saw that. Hopefully they're out of the chat. Like, what? I mean, this is already a sad vibe. You're just making it worse. But most of the time they're going to ask for money, right? So it's like, if that's the worst thing that can happen, then I feel like it's okay. Now, yes, you always hear the stories, hi Jaleesa, of like false imprisonment overseas, and like, I just feel like those are very rare circumstances. So, I don't know, J-Rod, if that made sense. But fearing like police brutality, definitely I would say, in my circumstance, like as a white woman, I get less nervous around police officers there. The only thing I do think sometimes, I'm like, do they know how to use that gun? Like, dude, I'm gonna flip out. Like, seriously. Who is this person? Probably someone I know. Like, sorry guys if you're seeing that. Also, if you're watching and you haven't given a thumbs up, just give a thumbs up. I don't think this video will be monetized, like I said, because I'm talking about guns and stuff. Definitely not, I think so. So the thumbs up help, I think, I don't know. Anyway, so those are two ways. I feel safer in terms of like shootings. I've told the story too about when I went to a baseball game there. Thank you, J-Rod. I'm about to make you a mod. I've never done that. And the celebration for the home team when they made a run was machine guns over the loudspeakers. Not real guns, but like, you know, the audio. And I was like, I'm on the ground. Like, I'm about to be flat on the ground hiding under this chair. And my friend was an American who took me, and she was like, oh my gosh, sorry, like I forgot to warn you. Like I always warn the Americans first when we're gonna come here. Like that's their celebration, because every time I come with an American and they hear that, they're like instant panic. And I feel like that's really sad. Like we're all freaking traumatized. All the Dominicans like loved it. They were like cheering because that was the celebration and they knew it. It wouldn't come in their head that it would be like, oh no, like that could be a shooting. That's just not a thing. You can't. This is so annoying. I feel like I'm trying to have a serious conversation. And now I have to keep removing people. Okay, anyway. If you guys have like actual comments, I don't know. I haven't gone live in like 2 months, and now I go on. It's like crazy. Anyway, so those two regards, I feel safer in the DR. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Hello from New York. Love your vids out of context, but any thoughts on TFL certification? Planning to teach in DR. I honestly don't think you need it. Like, I feel like some people get TEFL, some people don't. Sometimes you need it, but most schools you don't need it if you're a native speaker, depending on the school, especially if you have a bachelor's. But I would totally reach out to the school before going ahead and paying for a certification. Another area, so this is an area that I feel safer in the US, is driving. And you guys are probably like, Mills, please shut up about driving. Like, we've heard you talk about driving for 3 years. But I mean, when I think of DR, that's like, of like when I'm not feeling safe, it's always when I'm driving. Whether I'm driving or one of my friends is driving, I'm always just like, yeah, this is not safe. Because they're speeding or they're texting or they're drinking, playing loud music. And I think maybe it's because I've gotten in a car accident there and I've seen really bad car accidents, I've seen people die, and probably that's where that's coming from. If you know, if you've been to DR, if you live in DR, if you've taken a trip, like a car, what's it called, like a road trip, if you drive like 2 hours, you will probably pass like 10 accidents. So in that regard, I feel safer in the States. I always get really nervous if we're gonna drive from like Santiago to Samana. I want to drive. I want to be in the front seat. I don't want to be in the back. Like, I think have like a false sense of like control. I think that I can like sit in the front and prevent something. Okay. I won't like be on my phone and stuff when we're driving. Like, obviously, if I'm driving, I wouldn't. But if I'm in the passenger seat, I don't even like to do that either, because I want to pay attention and like check the driver. I'm so annoying. Like, you don't want to drive with me. Especially with the baby too. I'm like, I really don't like driving, having him in the car there. But that's like an accident, you know. I feel like it's different to fear your safety from people doing something intentionally versus accidents. Now, I will say, obviously, I don't think drunk driving is an accident. That's a choice. But that is one area where I will say I do feel safer here, although Arizona drivers are insane. If you know, you know. There are a lot of car accidents here. I see so many accidents here as well. I'll just say, like, the rules of the road are generally more respected. So I don't worry as much. Let me read some of your comments. Yeah, they do need to grow up. Is there a car mechanic that you'd recommend, Santiago? I'll have to ask. If you want to message me on Instagram, Rebecca Mills with 3 S's, I can get the name where my father-in-law goes. He like loves that place. I was overcharged a few times in DR, foreigner prices, but besides that, felt pretty safe. Yeah, totally. And that happens all the time, and it's probably happened to me. I say that I've never noticed it outright or like blatantly or anything like that, but I feel like I'd be naive to say it's never happened to me ever in all my trips and living there. But again, it's like, for me, it's not an issue of my safety. It's just like, dang, that sucks. But you know, and I know you know that, but it doesn't make me feel unsafe. It's just like a reality of probably being a foreigner or not speaking Spanish or looking different. I think some people say, like J-Rod, I don't even know if he's still on, but he has said like people think he's Dominican until he starts talking. Whereas for me, people, unfortunately, as bad as I want it, so cringy, they know I'm not Dominican. Are you shocked right off the bat? So they're like probably already thinking like, oh, what can I charge her? But I've never really noticed that. And I like to negotiate or try to, not at stores and stuff, but excursions and things like that. I'm trying to think in what other ways I feel unsafe in DR. You do hear those like one-off stories about like someone getting kidnapped or an expat, usually one that was on the coast, getting murdered. I shouldn't say that word either. YouTube is so annoying. And those like kind of scare me too, but like I always think like, okay, what if we, because we're still planning to buy like land there, what if we bought this awesome place like on the beach and it's like secluded ideally, and someone breaks in and like, you know, you guys have probably heard those stories, and like does something to us and like thinks we have money and whatever. But I also feel like those cases are really rare. You just like hear about them, I don't know, and then it's like those things happen in the States too. So it's not something I think about all the time. What areas do you find safest in DR? Puerto Plata, Santiago, or Santo Domingo, Samana? I feel really safe in Samana. I love it. It's so chill and quiet. I will say, like, I don't feel safe with the driving situation, like, anywhere. But Samana, as long as it's not Semana Santa, like Easter break where it gets crazy, everyone goes there, I feel safe there. Santo Domingo, I feel pretty safe there too. Like, coming from New York, I feel like it's, for me, it's like same as New York. If you're walking on a busy street, you like make sure that your bag and your money and your phone's away. But other than that, I feel safe there too. Santiago, I feel really safe. People will always say, like, don't walk around at night. I never walked around at night, like, alone once I lived there. Like, I wouldn't go, like, walking around the city by myself. But my friends and I always were out at night. Like, we would go get dinner at, like, midnight. We would be out until, like, 2. You know, we were in the city. We were in different parts, and we were always fine. And then you said one other. Oh, Puerto Plata. I haven't had, like, as much time in Puerto Plata, like, in the city. Only, like, on the beach. So, I can't answer that. When I was there, I felt fine. Cabarete, I always feel really safe. I feel like that's a safe place. I will say, like, I think people do take advantage of tourists more there, and I definitely look like a tourist. Or I guess I am when I'm taking trips now, but I still feel safe. And then, like, Sosua, I feel like can be sketchy, but it's not ever like an issue of like, do I feel safe? I'm just like, this is sketchy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna get kidnapped. I'm just like, better watch out driving, or like, better put my money away. So yeah, I feel the cities are very similar. Is it true it can happen where you get charged higher based on where you're from? Totally. Yeah. So sometimes, like, Chris and I would, you know, we lived in Santiago, we would go to, like, Cabarete for the weekend, and I would always have him call a hotel, because I feel like, yeah, sometimes you would get a better price if you're speaking Spanish, and obviously we're speaking Spanish, like, and I would always speak Spanish, but you can tell I'm not, like, native Spanish speaker. So I feel like he would get better prices. But if we're at, like, a restaurant, anytime I was at the grocery store, anything with, like, a set price, it was always the same for us. Probably other things too, like, maybe if you're at, like, an excursion, well, definitely, yeah, you would probably get charged more if you're from out of the country. I don't think there's a difference between, like, Americans and Canadians and Swedish people, but I feel like there probably is a difference, though, if you speak Spanish versus not speaking Spanish, for sure. New York is not safe. I feel like I don't know, actually. I will say now, I don't really think it's safe. When I lived in Manhattan, I felt pretty safe. The subway, I was always like, this is so sketchy. But now I'm hearing more and more stories about, like, someone getting shot on the subway and, like, these dumb things happening. I have friends who obviously live there still, and they're like, yeah, it doesn't feel as safe as it used to. But I think overall it's much safer than it used to be in, like, the 80s. Then it was, like, really not safe. So we would have to, like, look at the statistics, and someone said crime is everywhere. I agree, crime is everywhere, and you do have to be careful, and I'm very observant and, like, careful and just, like, nosy. So I'm always staring at people around me and, like, looking at, you know, my surroundings, making sure I'm making a decision, especially as a mom. Like, it's not just you, like, you can have fun by yourself in a bit of a more, like, carefree way. But I don't think the crime that happened this week in Texas happens everywhere. So in that regard, it's just, that's not something I worry about in DR. And it's so I taught in DR, right? I taught 4th grade, which is the grade of the students in this event. I never, ever in DR thought about someone coming into the school. like, and I am very, like, worst case scenario anxious. Like, I will think of the worst case scenario. And I never was thinking like that. I was never thinking, like, someone's gonna come in and, like, you know, there's a back entrance, or it's easy to access, or it's, you know, you can get into the building, like, without an ID or any of these things. I never really, like, never felt like that, which is a blessing. And everyone this week who's been, like, answering my Instagram stories about this or talking about it have said, like, yeah, I went to school in DR and I never thought about that. That being said, I never thought about that when I was little going to school either. Even in high school, I was worried about fights, but not this. So yeah, I'm trying to think in what other ways I actually feel safer in the States than DR. So I said driving. What else? Not getting sick from food, maybe. This is, like, so different too. Like, those are such different things. What other ways? I guess, like, getting robbed. I walk around more there outside. Like, Arizona is so spread out, so you drive everywhere. When I'm walking there, passing someone, obviously I'll have a thought like, make sure my phone's away. Not thinking that they look sketchy or anything, just, like, acknowledging that that's a thing that happens. Especially in Santiago, you're walking on the phone like this, like, yeah, someone can come on a moto and just take that easily. So yeah, I would say more aware of, like, petty theft, I guess. Yeah, because I've had, like, Chris says, like, all of his friends in Santiago have been robbed. He never has. I don't know. But it's like, if that's the worst thing, like, if the worst thing was they're gonna take my phone or my wallet, like, there's still, I'm not getting shot, you know? I don't know. And I know someone's probably watching being like, this is dumb because statistically the odds of that happening to you in the States are really low too. But I feel like it shouldn't even be a thing. I will, let's see. I'm Dominican and I appreciate you being honest. Thank you for everything you're saying. Keep the good work. My wife, thanks. Jose, do I have any younger or older sisters? I do have a younger sister. She lives in Texas. I will say I feel safer at the doctors than in US. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. I do feel safer with healthcare here. Not the costs. Don't even get me started. That's another rant. We're going to be paying $1,200 a month for health insurance. Can't wait. So, if anyone wants to give me $1, I will put that towards our health insurance fund. It's cool. But in terms of, like, trusting that the people know what they're doing and are certified, and I don't mean that in any type of, like, disrespectful way at all. I'm just talking about, like, things I've heard, things I've seen, sanitary things. Like, I had to get a very minor procedure redone in the States because they're, like, it was messed up. So I just think of those things too. Sometimes, like, there I would get sick and they would just be like, yeah, just go to the pharmacy and get this. And at the pharmacy there, you can get really strong things. And I'm like, is it safe to take this? Do you know what other medication I'm taking, etc.? But that is a good one too. I do feel like a little bit more trusting when I'm at the doctor's here, but yeah. Do you plan on raising your babies in the States? Would you consider other countries besides the DR to raise your family? That's a good question, Imani. I was talking to Chris about it actually. Again, after this happened, just being like, Mateo's not going to school here. Like, I don't want to put him in school. I was saying that, and the flip side of that is, like, I smudged my nail. The education that I've witnessed in DR is not the same. And it's really interesting comparing not DR to New York, which I usually do because I lived in New York my whole life, But now trying to compare like New York to Arizona, where we live now, it's like education in Arizona sucks so much. So it's like we're like almost last. So it's like, okay, maybe is it the same then? I don't know. If we did raise our kids there, they would definitely need to be in a private school. I've also seen some good international schools. I've seen some cool things like co-ops where it's like kind of homeschooling, but you're in like a group with other kids. And I never wanted to homeschool. I never thought about like that being something I would ever do. And I still don't really want to. Like, I want him to be able to go to school. But if we did, that would be a really big concern, would just be the quality of education. But I've definitely thought about it. Ideally, I mean, I work remotely, and I have for 5 years. Chris does not. He actually just got a job like a month or so ago that's full-time in the office. That's great. 2022, love to see it. And so he can't, split his time there yet. But I feel like as he moves up, that would be an ideal situation where we could split our time between our two families. His family's building a house in Santiago. I think they're gonna start soon. So we'd be like have more room, go there. I do want to buy our own place though, like on the beach. It wouldn't be in Santiago, but it's definitely a thought. And then the second part of your question, like, would I go to another country? Definitely. Like, I talk about Europe all the time. I feel like, and I know it can be like glamorized and stuff, and we see videos of other people who have moved and we're like, it's perfect. I know it's not perfect, but in a lot of ways, I feel like they, have a good setup there, good situation. However, it's much harder to move there. Chris has actually never even been to Europe, and we want to go, hopefully sometime soon. I don't even know when. But he needs to get visa and stuff until he's a citizen here. I would love for him to see it. I really think he would like it. I just get that vibe from Chris that he would really like Europe. He listens to like all music from like rappers from London. He wants to go to London so badly. He loves soccer. So I don't know. He always talks about London. I would not choose London. I would choose like Italy or like, I don't know, Norway. You just have like so many great benefits. I follow someone who moved to Germany, and the comparison she makes, I'm just like, oh my gosh, the way they treat families and moms and kids and stuff seems great. But like I said, it's harder to emigrate there. And then I always think about my parents being here. I'm like, I wish you could teleport. Then I could see everyone quickly. But I don't know. There's pros and cons to every decision. So yeah, what would you guys do if you had kids, or when you have kids? I'm hungry. Would you like stay in the States? Go to DR? I don't know. If you went, see, like, Chris thinks he had a good education in DR too. So I guess it depends what school you're in. Both in high school and in college. So, and he went to a good college. He went to Pucamaima. So I feel like it just depends on where you are, where you're going. So yeah. What do you guys think though? You're in Spain. Oh my gosh. I would love Spain. I forgot about Spain. I would love to go to Spain. I've heard Spain and Portugal are both like really great places to be expats. That would be nice. How did you move there? Like work or something else? What is San Cristóbal like in terms of safety? I have not spent a lot of time there. So if someone else is watching that is from there or has spent more time than me, please feel free to comment. When I was there, I felt safe. And I feel like it's like, I just keep saying like I feel safe everywhere I go there. There are like caveats and streets and little barrios that you're like, no, this is not safe. But I think it's safe. What do you guys think? Maybe you guys haven't been there, but I think it's safe. I know other expats that live there, and haven't heard it as a place that's necessarily too dangerous or anything like that. I don't know if anyone is watching that has been there. I feel like it's like not as popular. I don't hear it as much amongst expats, but definitely an option. And it's just like one of those things there is like, again, I feel like most of the things I worry about are things that can kind of be preventable. Not so much, you can't control how other people drive, but you can control how you're driving. You can limit driving at night. You can make sure you always have your seatbelt on, that you're not texting, that your car is like working, you know the roads, because a lot of the roads have like random huge ass potholes in the middle. You can like have good security and put your, what do they call that? Valuables away, make sure they're like, you know, not out in the open, and you're not telling people like I have all this money. So I feel like in that way it's like you do have a little bit more control. But yeah, where do you guys feel safer? Sorry, I'm like doing my nails. I should have gotten ready first and then did this video, but you guys know I don't plan ahead, so it's fine. If you're watching and haven't given a thumbs up, or if you're not subscribed, I would greatly appreciate that. I have more vlogs I'm working on. My computer has been hating me so much. It's been so hard to edit, and a lot of my clips were like not ruined, but I have to like pay someone to fix them. But I still have more DR vlogs to post. I want Chris's parents to start building their house so I can like kind of document that process. They're building a factory right now, like a warehouse, and it's been like cool. They're almost done, so I should have like done that more. But what's everyone doing this weekend? Oh, you're an au pair. That's awesome. An au pair, JS, is like a nanny, kind of someone who goes from one country to another country to usually live with the family and watch their kids. It's cool. So like I've had family members that have gotten au pairs from, I feel like their au pairs were always from like Germany. And they would live in their house and watch their kids while they worked. Really cool. Can you do a video on how to open bank accounts? Ooh, yeah, I can, and it's hard. It's really hard. I feel like some people have so much trouble opening a bank account there. I didn't, luckily, because I have, when I was teaching, the school helped me open one at Banco Popular. And I still have it open. It's really annoying though. Every month we pay Brianna's tuition for school, the little girl, she's 8 now. And I have to like transfer money from my US account to there, and like they make it so complicated, the process, but I can definitely do a video on that. You were an au pair in Spain? Why do I always forget you were an au pair? I always think you like teach. Wasn't it like a bad experience for you? Oh my gosh, with my luck, I would end up with like the craziest family ever, seriously. But I always thought that would be cool. If you're like single and stuff, that's such a cool experience. You inspired me to become one. I don't know if I would ever do this again though. Great, J-Rock, good job. I'm just kidding. It would be hard. I've literally heard so many like really good experiences with au pairs and really horrible ones. I think it 100% depends on the family that you get and then the agency. Like some families have their au pairs working like 7 days a week. It's just like uncomfortable situation in the house. And then others are like, it's totally fine. So, I moved to Santiago in July. I'll be teaching. How much do you think we should take with us, or how much saved? Also, should I bring pesos with me? Don't bring pesos with you. Just get them when you're there. Don't get them at the airport because that's the worst exchange rate. I would 100% wait until you're there, exchange your money there. it's always hard when people ask how much to bring with you because it depends on your lifestyle. So it depends how much you're gonna eat out, how much you're spending on rent, how much you're driving around. So do you guys hear him? If I try to put him back to sleep, will everyone leave? Probably. Motherhood. But I would try to calculate your living expenses and then have money like for savings and money for fun stuff. I feel like even if you went with like 5,000, you'll be fine. And then it's like you don't have to go with cash. Like I wouldn't bring that in cash. I always went with like $200 and then take out money when I'm there with my cards. Okay, I'm gonna see, and if he's not going back down, I'll come back and I'll end this, but start a conversation amongst yourselves and give me some topics to talk about. It should take 1 minute. Okay. Okay, he's fully awake. He's fully awake. Like, he's gonna come out here. Okay, I don't know how moms get their kids to nap for 2 hours straight. That's hilarious. He's been asleep for like 30 minutes. Hi. Come here. You wanna say hi? Come here. Who's that? Who's that? Okay. DR is only safer than New York City right now. Yeah, I was talking about that, Johnny. You probably weren't on, but like when I lived in Manhattan, I felt like it was pretty safe. Like I felt pretty good, and I was living there alone, single woman. You know, I was alone every day, going everywhere, night, day, whatever. I felt like pretty safe. Walking around, it was cool. Subway was always like a little sketchy, but now it's like my friends are telling me all these crazy things happening on the subway, like violent things, not just like, oh, there's crazy people. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. I feel like they need to have more police in the subways or something for sure. But that's interesting that you say that. And again, of course, it depends like what city you're going to in DR too, and where you're planning to live. Because that does have a big impact on how safe you'll feel, of course. But I basically just wanted to talk about the differences that I feel between safety in DR and US. And like right now, based on current events, I would say DR wins for sure. How's the housing prices? No, you don't even want to know. I'll never buy a house here probably. The prices in Arizona are insane, like absolutely insane. All the houses are going for like 50, 100,000 over ask. It's just ridiculous. Average sale price is like 800,000. So you can definitely get something cheaper in DR. Although I will say I've been seeing prices increase a lot there too. Rent and like buy, which sucks, especially if you're not making as much money. But you can still definitely find something cheaper there than here. I don't want to buy anything here. It's depressing. I'm not even like gonna look because it's such an intense housing market right now. Uh-oh. I know. Uh-oh. Sucks. When are you going to start paying rent? That's what I thought. Say no thanks. Oh, did you want to get down? Say no thanks. So yeah, housing, definitely there. So we will buy there. But I want to buy land, not like a finished house. But I keep seeing such nice, you kind of look like phony Braxton and Anita Faker. Wish you luck. Thank you so much. I don't even know what that means. So, is anyone in the chat? Who's in DR right now? Should I take this person off? Sure. I feel like I'm not like down for people being like rude anymore. It's just like over it. I don't understand why you would like comment something on. Like, don't comment then. Right? I don't get it. I haven't done a live in so long. That's probably why I'm like more sensitive. Usually I should be more used to this. Uh-oh. I know. So your mom's soft now. Too sensitive. I can't. Ooh, you have a goldfish. But yeah, prices, they are definitely going up there. Like, when I posted that Chris's parents' house for $600 a month, people like flipped out and said it was so expensive and that no Dominicans can afford it. And somehow people didn't listen to my intro or something, so I was like, I felt like I was very clear that I did not live in that house. But they were like, you can afford it because you're a foreigner, but locals can't. I'm like, his parents are locals. Like, and yeah, 600 is a lot, but I have friends in Santiago that are now like trying to find a place and it's like 800. Of course, it depends what neighborhood you're in. If it's furnished, unfurnished, whatever, the type of building, but rent has been kind of expensive too, for sure. Do I know any Spanish teachers for online? I think my teacher does online. If you want to message me on Instagram, I can give you his name. How did you meet people? It seems stupid to ask. I don't know how you meet people. It's so odd of your. I know it is so weird to make friends when you're older. I'm like, I'm not in school. I don't play sports anymore. Like, how do I make friends? I would say I did meet most of my friends like at school, like where I was teaching. Dominicans or you're so cute. Other American teachers. There were only some of us, but like my roommates and I got close, a couple of them. And unfortunately, this is like where it gets annoying, because the easiest way that I made friends that I'm still friends with now is through like Chris, my husband, but boyfriend then. That was like the easiest way, because once you have one Dominican friend, you kind of like get into their group. Now I won't recommend like, oh, just get a boyfriend. Okay, I need to get you a tissue. But that is how I met a lot of friends. But if you do meet some good girlfriends and stuff, then it's way easier to be in a group, because I feel like people do a lot of group things there, which is fun. He's like, move. It's fun, but it's hard if you don't have a group yet. You're like, hey, how do I find people? I did play soccer for like a minute. There were some girls, but I was so intimidated, and I can be so shy. I feel like it's really hard to meet girlfriends there. Yeah, I know. That's why I got it. And it's so like, allergies are so bad right now. It's hard to meet girls there. I always get intimidated. That's not good advice. I know. I feel like if you just go up to people, they're really nice though. I'm just always so scared to do that because it's intimidating. But I did meet a lot of friends through work, and then Chris. And then also I met a lot of people on YouTube, so that's cool. That would reach out to me and we like became friends. That was really cool. This is why I need to go to the salon and just get gel. I'm so cheap. Okay. It's hard to make friends. But Dominicans are so nice, like once you talk to them. I have 5% on my phone. So if you're not following me, and if you didn't like this video yet, now's your chance. I appreciate like all the ways you guys help and support, and I don't know, do like buy me coffee. That's like not been a thing anymore, but super chat, that's a thing. All of that is super nice and helpful. So watching my stuff, that always helps. But comment any, like, feel free to comment or message me any like topics that you want me to do videos on, and I would be happy to kind of record that. Someone asked for a video on bank accounts, I can definitely do that. There's a few like different videos I had in mind, so I will make a list and start doing those, like recorded ones too, and then I'll finish the vlogs. But I love doing video requests, so just let me know if there's ever any topic you don't want to talk about. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have fun, long weekend plans. Hopefully there's something going on that's entertaining. It's like 5 million degrees here, and being pregnant is fun in the heat. But I have to get ready for this birthday party anyway. You too, you're gonna swim. I'm not swimming. Thank you. It's like your boogers. But yeah, make sure you're following along. Thumbs up, comments, any engagement really helps. You check out my Instagram, Rebecca Mills with 3 S's. I post more there. And I'm on TikTok, guys. It's super cringy, so I'm not even giving my name. This one wants attention, so we will see you guys soon. Stay tuned for a new video next week. It's a vlog from DR. And we will see you guys soon. Say bye. Bye. Oh my God, I'm obsessed.